2 years ago, Americans watched in horror as a crisis unfolded at the Kabul airport.
She was tear-gassed and beaten.
Images of thousands desperate to escape Taliban oppression filled our news feeds. More than 80,000 Afghans made it to America. But the story didn't end there.
It was very cold. There was no power, no heat.
Who would help our newest neighbors? I'm Andrea Smartin. In Stranger Becomes Neighbor, you'll hear the stories of some remarkable refugees who left their homes and their dreams behind, only to start over from zero.
Their only possession was 3 blankets.
And you'll meet Americans who stepped up to help them.
You want me to come when you deliver your baby.
What can one person do in the face of an international disaster decades in the making? That's Stranger Becomes Neighbor. Find us at kslpodcast.com, follow us on Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the Real Estate Show. I'm glad you're listening. This is Jeff Caplan, along with Heather Osmond from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are, and it is a beautiful spring array of flowers and all the good things at Osmond Designs. We are having so much fun bringing out all of the beautiful spring colors, which are, you know, all the bright yellows and the pinks and the soft blues. All the pastels are coming out, and it looks so beautiful. We're gearing up for Easter. I can't believe we're even saying that.
I can't believe that.
Can you believe this? Today we have Drew Armstrong back on the show with us. He's one of the regulars. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me back.
So happy to have you. And Drew is an expert in Utah's real estate industry. You have a partner.
Thanks. Yes.
He's out today.
Yes.
We miss you, Matthew. But Drew, you know, you get 2 for 1. So Drew's holding down the fort here.
Perfect. That's the way we work, because then somebody's always available.
That's
whether
awesome.
it be for Heather and the real estate show or to take care of somebody's house sale.
Okay, so we've established now for the audience that you're in real estate.
Yeah. Been selling real
One of the
estate.
best, I'm just saying, Jeff. And I've known Drew and Matthew for 28 years. I don't know, a long time. And have loved working with you on various projects and really inspired and admire your work. Drew, what's going on in Utah right now in the real estate industry?
Well, you know, it's busy. We had one of our best years ever this past year, which is interesting. It's not what I think we would have expected at the beginning of last year. But it is, we're holding steady. We've kind of anticipated, I think everybody anticipated that rates would come down this year a little bit, and maybe they will a little bit. That's not what we've seen so far. We've seen inflation coming up a little bit, and that makes it so the Fed is not comfortable dropping the rates as much as we had hoped or anticipated. And we've got a lot of year left, so we'll see how that goes. But, you know, the interest rates are in the low 6s if you're looking at VA or FHA, and in the just above 6.5 kind of if you're looking at a conventional loan for non-investment properties. But investment properties, the financing is not that pretty. It's a point or a point and a half higher than that. And so it makes it so that we don't have quite as many people that are deciding to become landlords these days. So, but that's about where we were last year too. So the number of listings has actually gone up a little bit. The number of listings in the multiple listing service has gone up, which means that our average time in the market, because there's more homes to compete with, has stretched out a little bit, but prices haven't gone down. The median price in Salt Lake County went down by about $15,000 last year versus the year before. But the average price, like the average sales price, has gone up a little bit. So, things are still, it looks like, appreciating, but not a lot, like 3%.
How about the inventory? That's been a huge problem in this region. There's just not enough houses coming onto the market. You mentioned it's up.
It is
but
up.
By a significant amount enough to satisfy the market?
No, I mean, and it depends, because the thing is affordable inventory and affordability depends on what your income is and what the interest rate is, right? So what you would consider to be affordable has not gone up a lot. Those homes still sell in a heartbeat. If you've got something that's under $400,000, it's gone the minute it hits the market, because there's just not enough that meets the housing demand, because our demographic is so young, comparatively speaking. First-time homebuyers are struggling to get into anything.
So don't you feel like the low end is doing great then the luxury is doing great, because those people still have tons of money? It's all the people in the middle that are squeezed.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say probably that $700,000 to $1.5 million range is, they're still selling. If you price it accurately, there's plenty of buyers and they're still selling. But the average time that it's taking to sell and what you have to do to compete is there's more competition than there has been in a long time.
For sure. Okay, so Utah Valley Parade of Homes. Recently, I went to a meeting with all the builders, and there were 41 homes that will be in this year's Parade of
You're gonna
Homes.
have to schedule a week.
I know, right? It starts June 5th, but that is a record-breaking amount of homes. And these are not starter homes. These are not condos, twin homes. These are, a lot of these homes are over $1 million, $2 million. I think there are several that are over $5 million.
Oh, that sounds like Disneyland.
Why is that happening, Drew? Why is there 41 homes this year versus previous years?
Boy, I don't know. What did they say when you were in the meeting?
They just said, it's great to be in real estate in Utah. And everyone looked at me and I said, I'm going to talk about that on the KSL show this week. Yeah. But people are spending money. Yeah. And people are investing in their dream homes. And it's still the American dream to own a home. And the Parade of Homes has been very, very successful. Yeah. Not only for builders to enter a home with a homeowner that is a prepaid homeowner that has already contracted with them to purchase their home, but also to put in spec homes.
What's the percentage of those homes, of the 41 that are specs?
So I would guess around 25% this year. I'd guess there's around 10. Available. Yeah, so about 10 homes will be for sale at all different price points in all different locations. In fact, I was talking to a real estate agent this last week, and he said in his back pocket, he has a client that wants to buy a parade home this year.
Wow.
And wants to know what's available. And they do have a lot of clout, because people go in and they do their best work. These subcontractors do. They're beautiful homes. They're usually in great locations. And everyone knows that it's going to be done right and well. Oh,
that's one of the motivating reasons that people build a spec home. I mean, who really wants like a dozen, dozens and hundreds of people walking through their house,
Thousands
their new house every
people,
day?
Yeah.
But the thing is that you do get, the subs are willing to contribute a little bit more. You probably get a little bit better price if you know that it's a spec home, and you get a little extra out of them because they have an opportunity to show off their work. And so I think if you are in the market to buy a parade home, you're probably getting a little more for your money than you otherwise would. And so I could see people doing that. I've had clients that have wanted to buy parade homes in the past.
And I think when people are selling their home, they brag about that for years
absolutely.
and years and years. And people look at that and say, oh, it's a quality home.
So I have two questions for both of you. First of all, is it beneficial to these subcontractors? Do they really see business out of their participation in building a home? Okay, the second question is, am I supposed to quit my job and spend a month going to 41 homes? That's insane.
It's a lot.
No, you don't quit your job. Just after work, you go hang out with your wife or, your friend, and you go tour all these homes. What's great, Jeff, is they're all online now. So you can actually get on, preview the homes, and then you choose which ones you want to go to. And it goes for 3 weekends.
3 weekends.
So it's 2.5 weeks.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Weekdays also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sundays and Mondays it's closed, but every other day from noon until 9 p.m. it's available, and it's like $20 for a ticket.
That's a great value.
It's a great value. It's
lots of entertainment for that.
Right. It's almost less than going to a movie these days, so I think it's fantastic.
I've got a good friend that I work with. We use him as a consultant with some of our development, and he is a professor at BYU with a construction management program there. He won't let his wife go to the Parade of Homes.
I was going to say, it only costs $20, but you better have some money saved up, because I promise you're going to see some ideas that you'll want to incorporate in your own home.
I remember my recollection of the thing. Yeah, I've seen houses that have basketball courts and steam rooms and all of that, but the finishes in this home, I don't think if I took all my money, I could afford the finishes in the central stairwell. I mean, the ornate attention to detail is absolutely mind-blowing.
No, there's definitely artisans that do incredible work, but sometimes you can afford, a new sofa or a sectional, or you find a bedroom set that you fall in love with, or a backsplash in a kitchen, and you say, we can do that. We love this paint color. Let's incorporate that into our home.
You're just going to repaint your kitchen or remodel your kitchen, and you get ideas where you're like, I would have never thought that a green in my kitchen would have worked on the cabinets. And you walk away knowing that somebody else has done it and it looked dang good, and you're feel safe going ahead and being a little bit more creative because you've seen it already on somebody else's. And that might be a $4 million house. Yours is not going to be a $4 million house, but you're like, yeah, I can paint my kitchen cabinets green and have white countertops and it'll look great.
And I think this industry, it says a lot about builders are willing to put a spec home in a parade home. That tells you the market is doing well. They're in the industry. They know they're planning on these homes selling. They're feeling confident. They're putting their money where their mouth is. And I think that says a lot about Utah and what's going on in this industry. We love being on the KSL Real Estate Show with you every single Saturday morning. Today we have Drew Armstrong with Armstrong and Flinders, one of the best real estate agents in the state, on with us. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Dinner time. It's where little moments are cherished. With Blue Cash Preferred, get 6% cash back at U.S. supermarkets and bring everyone together. I did say everyone. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-bcp. Terms and cashback cap apply with Blue Cash Preferred.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
The murder of two men forces their families to wrestle with impossible questions. Who is forgiveness for? Does everyone deserve a second chance? Follow Season 2 of The Letter, Ripple Effect, at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And we are having a huge sale at Osmond Designs right now. We call it our spring cleaning sale, where we actually start going through the warehouse and cleaning out things that are in back corners and pulling them out. And we think, we haven't seen that for a year. And I don't know how it ended up back there, but we're pulling it out and we're selling things for cheap. And our entire store is an additional 20% off the lowest mark price. Oh, wow. And then all yellow tags are actually 30% off. So those are the things we've had for a little while. They're beautiful, they're brand new, and they need a good home. So bring your truck and trailer and come check those out. Today, Perfect. We have Drew Armstrong. He is a real estate agent here in Utah, one of the best of the best. His partner, we're missing him today, Matthew, is not on the show, but you guys are regulars and we love having you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Matthew has gone on a meditation retreat.
How fun.
What? I know. I'm
and
like,
why are you working and he's out meditating?
That doesn't sound like, well, I just got back. I mean, it's my turn to watch the store because I've been gone. My wife and I just got back from Egypt and Jordan for 18 days. So he had to take care of the clients and, he put an RV park under contract contract while we were gone and sold a couple, 3 or 4 houses. And so it's like, it's his turn.
So he gets to sit cross-legged for how long?
I'll tell you what, to me, that sounds like going and sitting on an airplane for hours and hours without getting to a rewarding place when you arrive on the other end. I mean, you may as well, if you were asking me to go on a meditation retreat, it would be like, here's an airplane seat, sit in it for 12 hours.
Is he doing the thing where you go, like that?
He and another friend of ours went and did that last year, and they literally didn't talk for 3 days to each other at all. Not a word. And this time he said, I'm not doing that again. Matthew's a very social person. I don't know how he thinks that's a good time at all, but he does, and I would never do it.
Well, we hope Matthew has a great time. The rest of us are going to make money in real estate while Matthew is sitting cross-legged.
Heather, book Matthew on the show, and he gets out. He's going to be a chatty Cathy.
We have to hear all about this. This is fantastic.
Well, he'll be back, and he'll watch the store again for me next week because I'm going out of town again for just a few days.
Tell us where you're going.
I'm going down to Las Vegas to the Home Builders Show. And it's huge.
It's incredible.
Yeah, the 2 convention centers that'll handle it in the United States, and they switch back and forth, are Orlando and Las Vegas, and that's it. And it's Las Vegas's turn. It's a huge show. Huge. It's like, except for CES, it's like the biggest one that they have all year.
What do they show? Is it like, check out these cinder blocks?
Yeah,
is that really
that's
part
exactly
of it?
what they do.
New and improved cinder blocks.
Yeah, like the modular homes and things that you can put inside of a home, smart systems and
flooring, tile, and
basement
everything.
systems, ways to all the most new innovative building techniques are featured there. All the companies that sell that stuff are there. Anything that just somebody came up with, ways to meet new code requirements, all that stuff is there. You've got, I'm going to go and I'm going to spend some time looking at breaker panels that integrate with the internet and your phone,
things.
So you know exactly how much power different circuits are using in your house.
For your work, that sounds amazing, but do they have like a Miss Breaker panel in the booth with the sash?
Drew, you need a new hobby. I don't know what you're doing about breaker panels, but that's actually really cool. And you're such a technology, I call you a tech freak.
Yeah.
You love it. You're so into all the computers and phones and photography, cameras. Yeah. And that's totally you, which I think is amazing.
Yeah,
so I can't wait to hear all about that.
It's going to be interesting to go see. But they also have trends like, color trends and all that kind of stuff, because it's anything that has to do with housing and building housing is what this is. And so it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've been down to one. So
I went a few years ago, and I will tell you this. Here's a little tip for you: wear your tennis shoes.
Oh, I thought you'd say wear your Heelys.
No, not your Heelys. I think you might break an arm if you do that. But you will have blisters at the end of the day. Yeah. It is 8 hours, 10 hours of walking.
Wow.
And it's exciting. I'm a kid in a candy store when I get in places like that, because it takes a lot to impress me now, because I'm an interior designer. I go in people's homes all the time.
You've seen everything.
See it all.
What do you use the building show for, both of you? How does it impact your work?
I think the same way we were just talking about the Parade of Homes, right? So as a consumer, when you go to the Parade of Homes, it gives you ideas of cutting edge new stuff that is coming, whether it's trends in interior design or construction techniques or just new ideas of ways to use space.
Oh, for sure. And just the colors are always something that I'm drawn to, the textures, the smart strand carpet, right, that the hippo can live on for a year.
That's sitting in my living room now.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. White carpet and just the innovative things that you just never knew existed, that you didn't know that you needed.
Yeah.
Are at these shows, and it is really, really fun to see all of those things, and then to bring them back to Utah and have, all the Relief Society women talking about it. Did you see that in that parade home? And it just brings an excitement. It's fun. And Utah is all about homes. We have larger homes in Utah than most other states have because of not only our families, but home is very, very important to Utah families. And I absolutely love that so much. Drew, you are one of the best top real estate agents in the entire state of Utah. How do people find you?
UtahRealestate.net is how to find us. So that's our brokerage is UtahRealestate.net. We're easy.
Stay tuned because Drew Armstrong is going to give us more tips and tricks on what's going on in the country, what's going on here in Utah, some investment ideas, maybe some seller tips, some buyer tips. We're going to be right back.
Dinner time. It's where little moments are cherished. With Blue Cash Preferred, get 6% cash back at U.S. supermarkets and bring everyone together. I did say everyone. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-BCP. Terms and cashback cap apply with Blue Cash Preferred.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Two young fathers are shot to death outside an iconic Utah restaurant.
I said, your dad has been hurt really bad.
The grief was disorienting for those left behind until one choice changed everything.
I just remember writing this letter, and it wasn't me writing it.
Can a personal decision shape generations?
We're all falling for this guy's trick.
I'm Amy Donaldson. Season 2 of The Letter, Ripple Effect, is available now. Follow us at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the Real Estate Show. Thank you for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And right now we're running an interior design special. So if you call our stores, we're running a $99 special for a 1-hour consultation. We come to your home and we help you move things around that are existing in your home or give you some suggestions and ideas of how to spruce things up for summer and spring. And, it's just fun to be outside. The weather's better. And it's a great time to come and stop by Osmond Designs. Bring your trucks and trailers. We have 45,000 square feet of in-stock merchandise. And so if you see it, you can take it home today. And 7 of your neighbors are not going to have the exact same thing because most times we just bring in 1 or 2 of each individual item. So that's kind of exciting. Wow. Most of the things that are landing right now are from Furniture Market. I recently returned in January. It's much like the Builder Show that we were just talking about in the previous segment, but it's where we do all of our shopping and really where all the retailers across the country do their shopping. And we get to customize things that we sell specifically only in our store, which is very exciting. And Jeff, you're going to love this, but of course we bought pillows. Lots and lots of pillows.
Yes, I'm absolutely amazed that you're supposed to change out your pillows, monthly?
No. Just by the season, throw some florals out for spring, and then in the winter, just do a little more texture, a little more cozy and warmth.
You definitely have the purchase options in the store. There are enough pillows there.
Yes, we do, and it's a lot of fun, so definitely check that out. Okay, today we have Drew Armstrong. He is one of the top real estate agents in the entire state of Utah. His partner is Matthew. Matthew, we miss you today, but Drew, you are an expert. You are always in the details. You're always knowing exactly what's going on, not only in the country, but specifically here in Utah. Yeah. Today, we likely have people that are considering selling their home right now.
Yes, we do. I'm sure they're listening, and we're coming up on spring, and this is when people start considering putting their homes on the market.
What tips do you have for them?
Well, the first one is you just said that you would do a $99 consult, and we have our clients do that with you all the time. That's one of the smartest things that you can do. Is you have Heather or one of her designers come in and tell you how to reconfigure the things that you have and maybe add a couple of different pieces into the mix that will fit with your new house. And people often say, well, then I'm just going to have to move it. I'm like, yeah, but it's what's interesting is I believe you can do this, but it's considered a cost of sale. Like if it's something that you're buying intending to use it to help to sell your house. If you put new carpet in, if you repaint, if you put a new countertop into your house within 6 months of when you sell it, then you can count that as a cost of sale, just like the real estate commission. And so if you do that, a lot of moms are like, well, I wouldn't want to buy brand new furniture, but think about buying the brand new furniture for the new house and just buying it a little early so that it helps to sell your existing house. And it makes a huge difference. We have people all the time that have Osmond Designs come in and they have one of these consultations and they might buy a couple pieces. Sometimes they don't buy anything and they do what they've been asked to do. And they're like, I don't think I want to move anymore.
Heather, what's the most common thing you have to do in one of these $99 consults?
Okay, you're going to laugh, but usually take out about 50% of what they have in there. I mean, Utah is known for clutter. We just have tons of stuff. And oftentimes you don't need all of that. You just need big statement pieces. So we just get rid of a lot of that and maybe just accentuate or add a few things that the scale's wrong. Oftentimes we'll go into a great room and the sofa is way too big for the space. And it just makes your room look smaller. And it's not going to help Drew and Matthew sell your home. So making things fresh and new and have it look like you care about your home. You don't want sagging cushions. It just makes it look like, it's 10 years old. It's a tired sofa. It makes it look like the rest of your home is not taken care of.
And
either.
Here's the frustrating thing for us, and I think for homeowners too, is a lot of times the reason that they are selling a house and buying a new one is that. That's the reason. They've outgrown the house. They're stuffed in there super tight. But at the same time, man, that's going to be the dream house for the other people that are in their little condo and they're moving up and they want to feel like this house is lots of space for us. And yet if you've got too many people in too small a space, you've got to be really careful with how you stage it and present it to the next buyer.
Do kids' bedrooms create a problem? Because typically they're really cluttered with the kids' stuff, right?
Yes, they are. And how you live in your home is always different than how you're going to sell your home.
Absolutely.
And so there may be things that you don't need in your kids' rooms right now that you can put away and put in totes and store and then pull them out when you need them later, which I think is so great.
Lose the Luke Skywalker poster like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Those little things like that. There's so much competition in the market. When you walk into a beautifully furnished builder model home and then walk into a home where they have dogs and it's cluttered and you're kicking things as you're trying to walk around, it does affect the resale value of your home. It goes down to those 5 senses, right? What it looks like, what it smells like. Drew, we both have horror stories of walking into homes where you just can't even breathe.
Yeah, and it's really important that the new person looks at it like this is their dream home, right? And so you might be going, oh, look, we need more space. It's too tight. We've got 2 more kids since we bought the house. We've got to do this, but you packing up half of your stuff and taking it to storage, or taking one of the bays in the garage and just making a line of totes. So it's very neat and people understand that you're moving, right? And they don't understand quantity of stuff there. But if you pack up half of it in advance, all the clothes that you're not using because it's winter versus summer or whatever, and you put that all away and make it so that the space, so it looks like there's space in closets.
Can I ask you about fixer-uppers? I mean, there are homes that need floor work, need new kitchens and like that. Do you still need a consult about the interior design for the selling period?
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should with any home. But I mean, sometimes the very best thing that you can do, like if I have a fixer-upper that's coming up that has a big barn outbuilding in Provo, and I'm going to tell them, empty it out. You know, even if it needs to get fixed, they're like, it's our folks' house. We don't want to do a dang thing. I'm like, well, I want to sell it when it's empty, because if it feels bigger, somebody else can come in, they can see the project before them, and they know what kind of condition it is, and it looks like a blank canvas to them, and they're excited about it. And I'm going to get more money if it's empty, even if it's a fixer-upper, than if it's full.
So true.
Mom and dad's old crap.
Drew, what tips do you have for buyers?
Look for the smelly houses.
I love that. That was always my philosophy. I love those fixer-uppers. I love a project, and oftentimes it's just paint and carpet and countertops. And
the difference is, Heather, is you're willing to go into that. Most of the time when somebody is buying a house, they're buying it and it's an emotionally driven process. And they want to buy the one that smells good, and they want to buy the one that feels big, and want to find the one that's bright and beautiful. But if you can adopt the mindset of let's find the one that is terrible and we will fix those things, then you'll get a better deal. But you also have to be willing to jump into a bunch of work. Right? You're doing that work that we're telling people, call Heather, and you spend 2 or 3 weeks getting ready to hit the market, and you will get more money as a seller. But when you're looking as a buyer, if you are looking for the killer deal, you're going to buy the one that somebody didn't do that already, because the person that fixed it all up and presented it beautifully, they're the one that's going to try to get the most money possible out of their house.
Well, and let's use your example of the kids, right? It's their parents' home. They don't want to do any of the repairs. Nope. They're going to be splitting the sale proceeds. They're like, what's $50,000? We don't want the headache. Right. We don't care.
Yeah.
Give it to the buyer.
Each of us is going to get, we might get $50,000 less for the house. But that means there's 7 of us kids. That means that each of us gets an extra $7,000 or less, $7,000 less than we otherwise might. But it's like, I'm sorry, they're not all 7 of the kids are not going to evenly contribute labor and effort to fixing up that house, to getting it ready to sell. And so one of the children of the parents that passed is like, I would have to do all that work and then I'm going to split it 7 ways? No. And so if you're looking as a buyer, that's an ideal house for you to find, is one where you have a bunch of work ahead of you, but you're going to get a good deal.
Okay, and you're going to laugh, but that's pretty been my philosophy my entire life, Drew, before you even said that. Every home we ever purchased that was an existing home always needed work. Yeah. And I think oftentimes my parents wanted to steal me and say, you're not allowed to live in that. That is not inhabitable. I mean, some of them were so bad, but we could see the vision and we saw the structure, and we always knew we would get so excited about the end result, and we could sacrifice for the time being because we had a goal. And it was really exciting.
You guys, as time went on, I mean, to begin with, it was a lot of times you'd come in and it was like paint and carpet, right? But eventually it was like, get an engineer because we want to pull this wall out. And I mean, seriously, it was massive changes.
And it has not stopped. I mean, just recently, within the last few months, I just purchased another fixer-upper. It's a beautiful home, but it was an older couple. It was so dated. It definitely needed some help. The parents had passed away. The kids, your exact example, didn't want to deal with it. And I bought it as is and made it my home. And I love it. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Today we have Drew Armstrong with Armstrong and Flinders, and Jeff Caplan, of course, from KSL on the show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dinner time. It's where little moments are cherished. With Blue Cash Preferred, get 6% cash back at U.S. supermarkets and bring everyone together. I did say everyone. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-BCP. Terms and cashback cap apply with Blue Cash Preferred.
The murder of 2 men forces their families to wrestle with impossible questions. Who is forgiveness for? Does everyone deserve a second chance? Follow season 2 of The Letter, Ripple Effect, at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. We're glad you joined us. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And it is always fun at Osmond Designs. I feel like it's Christmas every single day because we always have brand new products coming out. And I get so excited, and I can't be in the store every single day, but I do have employees and team members that will send me photos, and it makes me so happy. So come check out all the new things. Today on our real estate show, we've been giving some tips and tricks to sellers and buyers. We were talking about the Parade of Homes and how there are 41 homes in the upcoming Utah Valley Parade of Homes. Wow. And we talked about the brand new builder show that is going to be in Las Vegas. Drew Armstrong with Armstrong and Flinders will be going to that next week. And then we'll have you back on the show to report and give us updates on all the cool stuff. So take good notes.
I will. I'll take notes.
That's awesome. For this segment, we just want to talk about investors. What tips do you have for them right now?
It's a challenging time to buy investments, but that means it's a challenging time to sell investments, which means that there's some deals. And so I saw one just recently. It was a 6-plex in Springville, seller financed. So you could totally seller finance it. It would cash flow well. They're willing to carry for 10 years.
Wow.
So there's opportunities like that. I mentioned before, Matthew, while I was playing in Egypt, sold. One of our clients is a former real estate broker from California that retired and moved up to Utah, and she sold a hotel that she owned down there and had to do a 1031 exchange, and we found her an RV park up here. And so there are a lot of things that you can think about in terms of making money in real estate. Investment wise, we have people that have, the commercial end of things, warehouse and stuff like that has been so tight, and it's starting to ease up just a little bit, and there's a little bit more inventory available. And we've got in the past 6 months, we've put several of our past clients that call us up and they're like, come help us. And we put them found them warehouse space for their business or HVAC company or whatever to move into. And so we've done some of that as well. And my goodness, it is a fantastic way for you to invest if you have your own business and don't pay a landlord anymore. Buy your own building. And there's SBA loans that are available. So the financing is pretty good for one of those. And so sometimes you're thinking, well, I want to buy a fourplex, and fourplex financing might not be fantastic right now, but there's seller financing that you can find sometimes. But sometimes you got to remember that if you're a small business owner, you might be your best tenant, right? And so don't rent anymore if you can help it. Go find yourself a place.
It's so true, yeah. Drew. You are a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor. Mm-hmm. I have hands down made way more money in owning and renting and selling real estate than I've ever made in the furniture industry. You could probably say the same about your business.
Probably. But, you have done, you guys just don't know. Heather has, even in buying her stores, she has made so much money by making really prudent decisions in terms of seeing the vision for the space that she was able to buy to where you just like shake your head and go, how did you do that? I mean, one of your stores, and I'm not going to get into detail with it, but one of her stores, she bought it and she literally probably got it for free.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
Drew, you're very kind. So I will go into details about that. So it was our Orem location. Yeah. It sat on 7 acres. We purchased it at an auction. It was a lumber yard. We subdivided it. Yep. Sold off the 5 acres and paid for our building on the 2 acres for free. Right there on the corner of State Street in Orem, 1600 North. It's been amazing, which is why we can sell furniture for so much less, which is incredible. If you are looking to invest in real estate, please call our friends at Central Bank. They are sponsors of this KSL Real Estate Show, and I am probably their biggest cheerleader and fangirl. Not only have they invested in, my businesses at Osmond Designs and helped me become successful there, but they're just such great and loyal friends. So thank you, Central Bank. Please check them out. Okay, Drew, how do people find you?
Oh, they can find us on the internet. Our brokerage, we used to be we were the top team with RE/MAX for years in the state, and then we were the top team with Realty Executives. We started our own brokerage, which is utahrealestate.net years ago, and that's the way you can find us. Is utahrealestate.com is the MLS. utahrealestate.net is us. So.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being our KSL friends. Jeff Caplan, Heather Osmond signing off. See you next week.
Spring break is here, a perfect time to make memories and strengthen bonds with your kids. Research shows that kids who feel close to their parents are less likely to drink alcohol. Did you know alcohol affects a developing brain differently than in adults? A young person's brain keeps developing well into their 20s. Alcohol can alter this development, potentially affecting brain structure and function, leading to learning problems and a greater risk for alcohol use disorder. That's why open conversations about not drinking underage are so important. It doesn't have to be a big talk, just casual, ongoing conversations. Parents play a key role. Even a small amount of parental acceptability can lead to alcohol use. Utah research shows when a child understands that their parents feel it would be very wrong, not just wrong, very wrong, to drink underage, 9 out of 10 kids don't. Every child deserves to reach 21 with a healthy brain and a bright future. For more information and tips on preventing underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.